Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the iRacing Esports Network and to Apex Racing TV for the ARLTC Round 7 of the 2020 season here in Charlotte, North Carolina. We're at the Roval circuit, of course, as you can see. Andrew Woodhouse alongside Adam Bath with Sam Kumo on the cameras. And Adam, we come here to a circuit which is guaranteed to give us thrills and spills. You've got the heartburn turn, you've got the crazy curves, you've got the chicanes, the infield as well.
And amazingly, it's drier here than it was then for the NASCAR races at the weekend, where it was just torrential downpours for both the Xfinity and the Cup Series. So we don't have to worry about any standing water here tonight. But yeah, you've mentioned it. That first corner, that 90-degree left-hander, so easy to lock up. It's a very short run as well, away from the line when the lights go out. And yeah, we've got what they call the turtles at the chicane. You can see some of them there where Simon Turnbull is just going through the chicane now. The bus stop chicane, we're using the slightly tighter version, thankfully, because I think otherwise we wouldn't have too many cars left. But yeah, there is so much to look forward to, and yeah, I think we've been looking forward to this race meeting for some time, so it's finally here.
Yeah, it's always a good one, this, when we come here in any series. And the first time this season coming to the Roval.
Practice coming to an end, so let's see if we can get the championship standings up as we continue to get ever closer towards the end of the season. And there they are. It's Dave Baker leading the way, but not by much. He's only got a 6-point lead over Ross McFarlane. Wojciech Savinovic, there he is. He's only 2 points behind in third. A point further back is Ross Balfour. Simon Turnbull, who we were just looking at the back end of practice, is in fifth. Oscar Mangan for Course in Racing is in sixth. Kieran Harrison, Jack Sedgwick, Matt Turnbull, and George Simmons completing the top 10 there. And let's not forget, there is no showdown anymore, and that's just how close the points are. It's brilliant to see. And there's the AM category. Mark Johnston, he's got a 20-point advantage over Rickard Carlson. His fellow Scandinavian Preben Valler in third. Mark Woodhouse, Toby Ward, Adrian Campfield, Malcolm, Roberts, Davis, and Sutherland completing the top 10 there. And there's just 100 points separated in the top 10 in the Pro-Am category. So that's the state of play in the two Drivers' Championships. And we're into the qualifying session now. 15-minute quali to set the grid for race 1. And let's not forget race 2 and race 3, if you knew, will be done by a reverse grid.
Yeah, reverse grid, no longer the spinning wheel, but a random draw. We can actually tell you what that's going to be. I'll tell you that very, very shortly indeed. But looking at the track, there are 16 corners, and the majority, as you can expect, are left-handers, but there are some very, very tricky parts. That first corner is tough, Adam, because the wall is very, very close. There isn't a great deal of runoff area. And we saw in NASCAR last year, I think it was Chase Elliott, he went right into the wall halfway through the race, reversed it out, and ended up winning.
And we know how bad these cars are to turn when they're on cold tyres. So
Yes.
expect for the first couple of laps, maybe some drivers getting caught out by that and then almost just going straight into the wall. We saw something similar in the F1 at the weekend with the cold tyres at Nürburgring. Almost everybody running wide on the entry into turn 1. So yeah, cold tyres are brutal in this Audi, and for at least a couple of laps I think they'll be pretty tentative, especially for corners like this where Fraser Smith's going now, where you've got to really rely on the car to turn in to get the best possible run onto the back straight.
Yeah, turn 1 was very, very interesting indeed, shall we say. And at the weekend, I'm just having a couple of issues here, Adam. I don't know if you could just take over for a minute.
No problem. So we're on board with Fraser Smith here. Oh, sideways into the bus stop chicane. Someone in front of him wasn't so lucky and able to hold on to it. You don't get an off track for that. That's fine to use. You don't get a slowdown penalty either. Now we hog the apron. It's not a yellow line down there, so if you did want to do it, you could go below it. Been in races before where they have. Bunch of talentless, I don't know what they are, the ones that did that. Fraser Smith hopping over the final few curbs, crossing the line, and he's currently P9. Is he going to be able to improve? He does improve to within 7/10 of Simon Trendle with a 1:26.5. So the times are starting to come down a little bit. Now we're getting into the first few moments of the qualifying session. To give that as some sort of reference for you, the fastest time in practice was a 1:24.1 set by Kieran Harrison, who is really starting to make the habit of being quick in the practice sessions. And he's carried that across here to this all-new track for the ARLTC, the Charlotte Roval. Here is a Frenchman, and it's Corentin Guinness. I've probably butchered that name, but here he is in 18th place, 2.5 seconds off the pace. But he is on a good lap here. He's got a few green boxes, a purple box as well, which means he is the fastest overall through the first sector. Hot curb hopping there, just skimming the safer barrier on the exit. And he might have picked up an off-track or a slowdown penalty because he has backed out of that. And safer is an acronym. It stands for steel and foam. Oh. And
energy reduction or something?
I think that. Thank you for coming to my rescue. Yeah, I think that's. I think that is what it stands for. I think, thanks to the help of Google, I think I will. I will go and have a quick check. Safer barrier, steel and foam, energy reduction barrier. There you go. Here is Masida, another new Frenchman on the grid, driving car 37. He is in the pro category as well, 1.2 seconds off. He's picking up a nice slipstream off Jason Cooper. The bonnet of the Audi RS3 TCR car. Over the line he goes. Will he be able to improve? He does improve and goes up to P4. Second row of the grid as it stands. 1:25.367, 4/10 of a second away. And some of these newcomers this season have really hit the ground running. Sometimes in the past we've seen drivers and teams take a while to get on all cylinders, running on all cylinders, and then they can really start to be competitive. But the teams like Team Chimera and some of the other drivers like Kieran Harrison for HM Engineering and so on and so forth, they really seem to be taking it to the experienced pros here in the ARLTC.
Yeah, especially the likes of Harrison. We talked about him quite a lot this season and how he has been very, very quick in the practice sessions. Hasn't always translated it into the qualifying and the race, but you know, we'll see what he can do in this session as Jansen goes fastest. We haven't seen him for quite some time.
He is. It's great to see him.
That's an identical time with Pete Newman, actually.
Wow, yeah, just seen that. 89, well, a tenth, well, it's all irrelevant now, because Matt Turnbull's gone straight to the top with a 1:24.4. Carl Jansen, good to see him here. I'm going to say he's going to be trying to help Ross Balfour here, because I believe he still drives for Core Sim Racing. And we know him from our time covering the World GT Championship, where he went and won it a couple of seasons ago. Now he's trying to turn his attention to front wheel drive, and he seems to be taking to it like a duck to water here, because he is right up there, 0.3 of a second away from Turnbull, and as it stands, he's out qualifying his core colleagues in Oscar Mangan and Ross Balfour, who are currently 6th in P8 as well.
Yeah, and see Turnbull going to the top, 24.4. He's got very, very close to the time he did in practice, and I think that's going to be the key. Is to see exactly what is to try and get as close to that practice time as possible, because it seems like some guys put in really, really good times. Put in really, really good times in that session.
Halfway through the quali, and Ross Balfour, we were just hearing about how Jansen was the quickest core car on the grid. That has been immediately bettered, because Ross Balfour is top of the timing tree, 1:24.354, a tenth of a second quicker than Turnbull. And as it stands, he is going to be set to lead us away. You can see this is the final chicane here. If we were probably doing this in real life, the grid hatchings would go not through the chicane, but on the tri-oval. But iRacing, we are going to be gridding up in the middle of the chicane. So some drivers that are in the midfield, they'll be turning right and left before they even get to the start finish line. Probably be the case if we had Magny Core on iRacing. That's a underrated track.
That's a bit of a that's kind of a bucket list track, isn't it? for iRacing Mandy Court. That'd be great.
I'm intrigued to know, it always had the reputation of being in the middle of nowhere, but I went to the Nürburgring the weekend and that was in the middle of nowhere, so, but you don't mention that as a criticism, really. Maybe because it's in the midst of the Black Forest and it's a stunning part of the world, I'm not sure, but here is Norbert Leitner anyway, or there was Norbert Leitner. Here is Jack Sedgwick. He's coming into the final chicane now, driving for IDC, the black car with the blue stripes on it, pinstripes. Ross Balfour goes quicker yet again. Can Sedgwick trouble that at all? Over the line he goes. Green boxes for most of the lap. Unfortunately, it's not going to see him improve. He did a 124.8 previously. That might have been an invalidated lap. I'm not too sure on that one. Matt Turnbull, he previously was on pole. He's just coming across the line now. Will he improve? He does not. He sets a time slower than his personal best, a 124.661. Fraser Smith nearly breaks into the top 10, does a 125.072 and is in P11. So there's Ross Balfour, provisional pole sitter, trying to make sure he doesn't get in the way of anyone. It looks like for the most part the racing line on the banking, at least through NASCAR Turn 2, is on the low side. Well, we'll wait and see with some of the hot lappers here whether that's the case when they go through Turn 3 and 4, because you want to try and carry as much speed as possible. In the race, it'll probably be all about hogging the low line, because you do not want to get past there, as off and recovering is the man that's currently second on the grid, Matt Turnbull, making sure he does not impede anyone's lap time here, because this is a very narrow part of the circuit. Here is Valentin Guinness coming back into the pits, and Ross Balfour, is he going to improve even further? No, he doesn't. He does a 128.9, but he will be back on the hot lap now as he goes through, as Woody was mentioning, Heartburn turn 1. Now plunging down the infield, it's amazing really. When we first started on the iRacing service, there was a Charlotte Roval in the Mazda MX-5s, and for the most part it's a similar layout, but they really have modified it a bit to make it even better.
Yeah, the corners in the infield are pretty much the same. But yeah, just that little sort of different runoff areas, different curbs. They've added that extra chicane on the main straight. But there's also a few different configurations, isn't there, which are quite interesting too, with a few shorter corners and shorter switchback configurations and things like that.
I'll tell you what else there isn't since they redid it. There's no lethal fence
yes.
on the exit of the infield to ruin your Mazda MX-5. Because everybody did used to take liberties with that inside line. In fact, it was just here. We're on board with Kieran Harrison. It was right about there, probably. And if you tried to cut the inside a bit too much, you'd wrap yourself around that. And your race would be over. And there would go your safety rating, and you'd be stuck in the rookies for another couple of weeks, as Harrison has to get out of, if that was a hot lap, he was getting out of it on the back straight. It's going again, and he will try and regroup and set another time. If you are new, the car's in red on the timing tower with the red stripes down the side, and on the track map they are the pro drivers, so they're competing for the Drivers' Championship. And the cars in blue are the Pro-Ams. They've got a Pro-Am driver's title as well to fight it out for. And there is a pretty decent cash prize in the ARLTC for another season.
Yeah, it's not like the old days when we used to know exactly what the cash prize was, but because it all depends on entries throughout the season.
Yeah, that is true. I was just having a look on the Apex Racing League website to see if there is a nominal sum. Here is Preben Valle. Now he is rocketing over the curbs. Expect that in rallying. These Scandinavians are good at their rallying, as in years gone by. Valle does a 125.199, which puts him in 18th place. I believe that would be the highest Pro-Am driver. I just don't know the positions from 9th down to 12th. Here's Mark Woodhouse, who is getting on a bit now in terms of his time in the series. He's been here for quite a few years now. you and I commentating or racing against him in the club series on a Sunday night way back in the day. And he's currently in 22nd place, Breuer in 23rd, then Campfield, Carlson, and then Rushworth down in 26th, with Mark Johnston for Hesketh Racing in 27th place. Can Woodhouse improve on his time late on here? Loving the blue wheels as well. Through the final corner, it's almost like watching Kurt Busch back in the Penske days. Over the line, and he goes, stays 22nd with a 1:25.51. The smokers, I think someone might have hit the wall on the exit of that corner. It is very... When you leave pits here, for the first time, I was very worried, thinking I was on the track, because I think back in the old days of the Charlotte Roval, you literally were when you left the pit lane. But now there's a bit of a pit lane exit before you get out on the track, and therefore you don't end up emerging into the path of someone.
Just need to restart them.
Okay, overall Andrew Woodhouse back for some point during race 1. There is still a bit of time for the cars to grid as well, so we might even get him back before the start. But the top 20 on the timing screen. I'll quickly have a look and see how many cars are set to be reversed for races 2 and 3. It is in the 40s for race 2, and then for race 3 it's going to be 35 cars reversed, so quite a lot. We've got 50, just having a look at how many cars we've got in the entry list. We've got about 43, 44, 5, 6, 7, 8, 49 cars registered in the session. And we've got some big names set to start towards the rear that haven't set times, most likely due to penalties picked up due to misdemeanors in previous rounds. They include Ash Sutton, Damien Harris, Alex Simpson, Adam Hadfield, Ben Gregory, Lee Berridge and Sean Gardner. Time to get going then, almost. We are about to get going for the first race of the day in the ARLTC Championship. Here is the grid then. Ross Balfour starts on pole, second Matt Turnbull, then it's Carl Jansen, Jack Sedgwick completing the second row of the grid, Corentin Guinness in 5th, Oscar Mangan 6th, and George Simmons, Pete Newman, Kieran Harrison, fastest in practice, 9th in qualifying, and 10th Jake Blackall, the Aussie. Happy Bathurst weekend as well to everybody watching down under. Wojciech Savidovic 11th, 12th for Jason Cooper, Swift Cooper Esports, 13th for Dennis Neidhart, then Dave Baker, Fraser Smith, then Norbert Leitner, the Hungarian, Ross McFarlane, the reigning champion, Preben Valler, the Norwegian, Simon Trendell, JB Masida, Michael Evdoka in 21st, and Mark Woodhouse 22nd. 23rd on the grid, Marius Brewer, then Adrian Campfield in 24th. 25th on the grid is Rickard Carlson, Jamie Rushworth, former champion 26th, Mark Johnston for Hesketh Racing, Craig Williams, Alex Snella, Philip Johansen, the Swede, completing the top 30. Then it's Nathan Davis, Marcel Fritsch, Morgan Butler, Adam Hedgecock, Darius Neidhart, Simon Fields, Jamie Wilson for Team Chimera, Kip Stevens, then Toby Ward, Baron Glover, Austin Foster, and John Roberts. There we were mentioning Ash Sutton, former BTCC champion, Damien Harris, Alex Simpson, Adam Hadfield, Ben Gregory in 47th place, 48th Lee Berridge, and set to start right at the very back, on the back row, all by himself, is going to be Sean Gardner. That's how they'll line up. And if you're the likes of Sean Gardner and Lee Berridge, it might even just be on the entry into the final chicane. That's how far back the grid goes. In fact, the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows on the front straight. That's how short of a front straight it is. Here come the lights then. And when they go out, the first race of 3 tonight will be on. The lights are off and the race is on. Good start from Balfour. These guys are really getting to grips with the front wheel drive away from the line now, and he's going to maintain his lead into Heartburn turn. No such issues for his Hearts. Let's hope everybody gets through it safely. Turnbull remains in second place. Good start from Jack Sedgwick. He's up into P3. Managed to get by Carl Jansen off the line. Ross McFarlane and Dave Baker exchanging places in midfield. Guinness trying to get in the mix as well on his debut in the ARLTC as he's looking up the inside of car 999. Oscar Mangan, the two make a little bit of contact and a flash of the lights for Mangan as well. He's not too pleased with that in the early going. First 14 laps, and now the Irishman is under pressure because here comes car 63, George Simmons, trying to power his way around the outside here. It's going to be interesting. He'll be on the high line as well when we go onto the banking, which could work in his favour in the end. And look at this, almost cutting under the apron. Kieran Harrison making moves in the early going, trying to get by Pete Newman, who was on briefly on pole earlier on in the qualifying session. No way through though. Now we're on the brakes into the bus stop chicane for the first time. Simmons misses his braking point and has to bail. Straight across the chicane he goes, and on the first lap of the race it'll be an awfully long slowdown penalty, which will probably set him back down to at least outside the top 20. Oscar Mangan, back into 6th place as a result of that slowdown penalty for Simmons, and is trying to keep Harrison at bay after that battle with Guinness through the final part of the oval. Wojciech Savinovic into the pits. That will almost certainly be a slowdown, a drive-through penalty for a jump start. I can't think of anything other than maybe leaving the qualifying fuel in the car. What a bad start to the evening for the former champion, former 6-time champion of the ARLTC. So first up in the books, it's Balfour that leads. Turnbull in 2nd, Sedgwick in 3rd, Jansen 4th, then it's Skinners, Mangan, Harrison, Newman, Blackhall, and Cooper completing the top 10. Here is Preben Valle in 17th place. We've got one Norwegian in 4th, we've got another Norwegian here in 17th place. He drives for TC Motorsport, and he's got George Simmons, who got that slowdown penalty on the opening lap, right behind him. So it wasn't as bad as first feared. Simmons was able to serve that slowdown penalty and get going again without dropping out of the top 20 on the timing tower. He's in. There's a whole load of cars understeer into the safer barrier. That goal, dear, and there's contact, big contact there. That was a fiercely forward car going straight into the barriers. Might have been as a result of damage, and Adam Hedgecock really had nowhere to go in that situation. He was on the outside, and the fiercely forward car was, I don't know if it was a result of damage, came across him and sent him spearing into the wall. Problems for Baron Glover, American racing at North Carolina. He's very slow on the back straight, and he might be touring in to get repairs to the car. There's a lot of elbows out in the bus stop chicane. There's an Apex car, it's a Pure Sims car on the wall. That's Ash Sutton. Started at the back of the grid, and usually the man that we see making so many overtakes is really in strife in the early going. I don't think he's got any damage, but he was definitely rubbing the safer barrier at the bus stop chicane in the early going, and I think he might already be coming into the pits. So Wojciech Savinovic, reigning former champion, in the pits at the end of lap 1, Sutton in the pits at the end of lap 2, and we've got more cars around. That is one of the Pure Sims OBP cars, Michael Avdoka, and that is Darius Neidhart as well. So a lot of it. Paul Avdoka got hit by one of the .exe cars, I think. And then he couldn't get the car pointing in a straight line, and then ended up taking with him the .exe car that collided with him. That was Dennis Neidhart. So the two of them having first contact on the entry into the final chicane, and then a bit more just for good measure when they went onto the front straight. Time to catch our breath, and Matt Turnbull, we might have to hold our breath for a bit longer. Balfour clipping the curb on the midway through the chicane, set him offline on the exit, and now Matt Turnbull fancies his chances of getting the lead here. He started 2nd. Is he going to be leading the lap at the end of the inside into the final chicane? No, they're in contact, and he gets hit as well for good measure. Balfour slams into the side of who was that? That was Jack Sedgwick. Sedgwick's facing the wrong way and is going to have to come back where he came from, otherwise he will get a massive slowdown penalty. He's facing the whole field. He's having to do a 3-point turn to get the thing going again, and that all started as a result of a slight tap from the rear from Matt Turnbull into the back of Ross Balfour. These cars are very light under braking. They're so light that the rear wheels almost get off the ground, and it's resulted in Matt Turnbull now leading, Oscar Mangan filling the void left by his teammate in 2nd, and then it's Carl Jansen in 3rd, Harrison 4th, Newman 5th, Cooper, Neidhart, Blackhall, Smith, and then Ross Balfour, poor Ross Balfour after that contact, in 10th place. I wonder if he would have been better just going across the chicane and taking the slowdown penalty, because it resulted in a whole lot of contacts. It looked like as well that Jack Sedgwick arrived very late onto the scene into the chicane as well, which didn't help matters. But here is Balfour then. He remains in the top 10 and remains in the thick of the action, because here he is trying to get by Fraser Smith and Dennis Neidhart this time. .exe car running a bit wide. Good exit for Balfour this time. Might get a bit boxed in here, because Smith on our right is on the high line as we look. Look how late they go before shifting up as well. he going to try and go around the outside into the chicane here? The spotter will be in Smith's ear, saying he's on the outside. Just misses the wall. Someone's got a lot of damage behind Ross Balfour. That is Corentin Guinness, who might have been the other car that was involved in that, as well as Sedgwick. He's lost 6 places as a result. So the HM Engineering car, the car 333, is down a few positions from where he started as well. The damage to that HM Engineering car. Sorry, to the not the HM Engineering car, to the privateer car 333. Biggest movers in the field after the first 5 laps. Well, goodness. Oh, he is HM. No, it's not HM Engineering. Oh, he is in HM Engineering. There you go. I haven't updated the project file. That's on me. Yeah, Guinness leading his teammates, Norbert Leitner, in 12th place. So the teammates could potentially be working together. Or in fact, they could be about to go into combat because they are nowhere near trying to get by Ross Balfour. Bit of side-by-side action in the background as well going into the chicane. Was that Turnbull? JB Mercedes, Team Chimera car, comes out on top.
I believe I'm back now, mate. Hello.
Hello, welcome.
Hello, everyone. Sorry about that. Yes. Teething problems, new PC. But we seem to be good. Into the chicane. Oh, here we go. He's throwing it up the inside.
Wow.
That one work, I think, just about. Did
yeah.
the Freem car rush with?
You can hear Craig Williams. He's also got behind him JB Mercedes and Rickard Carlston, no mistaking that Hell Racers car in the mirrors. Really approaching half race distance here, lap 6 of 14, plenty of action while you were away. Contact for the lead, which resulted in quite a big incident unfolding. Probably won't be the last time we see that in that final chicane.
Ah, no. That's a last lap diving spot if you've ever seen one.
Saw that in real life, didn't we?
Oh,
that was Jimmy
that was
Johnson.
awful, wasn't it?
And I think that was, is that the closest I think Jimmy Johnson's come to winning a race since? And he retires at the end of the season, so that's it's a massive shame for him.
Who won that in the end? Blaney?
I think it was Blaney, yeah.
Yeah, Turnbull's flying, isn't he? 2.2. Is the lead, absolutely going like hell, as you would say. But Alex Nella, 26th place, solid run for Nella again, as seems to be the case quite often for him these days. Oh, and that's McFarlane. Looks like he's missed the chicane, Adam, and up the inside of him goes. Oh, and into him. Oh, bad manoeuvre there. Oh dear. Well, that was one of the fiercely forward cars, it looked like.
Backing it into the heartburn turn and getting going again.
Absolutely, Alex Albon in there. And let's have a look. Easy move. Really easy move. And just swipes across. Oh dear.
So much space on that inside line. I don't know why he had to. Best thing, move across to get the racing line like that.
That move was so bad it's making Adam combust, I think, ladies and gentlemen. But McFarlane down into the high reaches of the 20s there, which is not what he wanted. But I'll tell you what, there is one Pure Sims car that is going about his business very nicely indeed. That is Matt Turnbull. His lead is coming down a little bit. It's gone from 2.2 to 1.9 on this lap, but you know, if he keeps going at that rate, well, it might be the last lap that Carl Jansen can make a move. Former champion on this channel, Carl Jansen. Very experienced in iRacing.
If ever there was a track where you needed to practice for, it's this one, because you can see how close the drivers get to the wall on the exit of the chicane, and you can only do that through doing endless laps and knowing that the speed you take through there will be enough so that you don't hit the wall. And yeah, we're definitely seeing that here. Jansen and Mangan, just a couple of attempts between them, and a couple of identical sectors in the early going of this lap. So Jansen's gap to Turnbull in the race lead is still down, still remaining around 1.7 seconds.
Look how close the cars get to each other there. as the course kind of meets itself. There's a part of Baku, isn't there? I think that it's like that as well, where the cars run either side of just one wall. You saw it there where the infield meets into the chicane at the back of the circuit. For the 8th time goes Turnbull. Jansen clobbered the curb. Mangan took a more direct route. Didn't bounce up quite as much as the man in second place did.
Is it worth a lunge from here? Look how much they've even used the grass to help them turn in.
Yeah, I'm not sure he's going to have a lunge on his teammate at this point, but look how close we get. If we were on that camera right on the edge of the wheel, might be in danger around this track. Oh, and again, Harrison with the personal best, slightly quicker than the second and third placed men. So yeah, it's going fairly well for Harrison.
Here's the close battle. It's Jake Blackhall, and it is Dennis Neidhart. Just on the subject of Australia again, have you seen the Chevy that's set to race in the Aussie Supercars next season?
I have not, no.
It looks pretty good, I must say.
It's a departure from history,
Holden.
that is, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh yeah, Holden pulling out they're pulling out of Australia completely, aren't they? That might just be at
crazy. Yeah, that is absolutely crazy.
Neidhart then, takes a lot of the turtles there, as they call them here in the States. There's Norbert Leitner driving for HM Engineering. Behind him is Corentin Gunez. And then they've just swapped places, yeah, so Leitner just getting by into P11. I wonder if that front end damage to the Audi at the Frenchman there in 12th place might just be hindering him somewhat. As here's one of the remaining fiercely forward cars, Adrian Campfields, with Turnbull right behind him.
Yeah, he looked like he was going to have a look there. Did the Chimera driver, Turnbull, but decided not to do it at this point. Still a few laps to go, and realistically, Adam, that might be the only place that he can get before the end. This is John Roberts, and we're going to see something happen to the former AM champion here. He approaches the chicane at the back of the circuit. Oh, he spins. That's a little unusual in this Audi, I'll be honest. Gets the handbrake out there to rejoin. And yeah, not much harm done. Only a place or two lost, I think, for John Roberts there, Adam, but an unusual accident.
I haven't seen that too many times, especially at this circuit anyway. Two big names that are right at the very back of the field. Ash Sutton and Alex Simpson. Don't often see that in the ARLTC. I don't even know if they're actually on the circuit, not too sure, but two big names right at the back there. They'll be starting there for race 2. No, they are both out already, so expect to see them trying to lead some sort of charge through the field in race 2. As here comes Nella. Is he going to make the corner?
He's gone deep. He does make the corner, but not going to get a great exit out of that one. Oh, and one of the Hell Racers cars trying to go around the outside, but this is very close quarters going through the... Oh, banking bang! That is a huge one. The massive crash for Alex Nella. Oh, man, that's a horrible crash.
That stays on his roof, rear wheel still spinning, and he's so close to the pits, but there's no one to push him over, and he's going to have to tow back to the pits. And here's a replay then.
Let's see. Oh, did he get a nudge in the rear, actually?
That could be the only logical explanation, yeah.
And then he's just scraping along. That's his viewpoint, getting a good look at the asphalt there.
I was about to say he'd still be strapped in. Of course, it's not like that back where they are back at
hanging
home.
like a cow, as Nico Hulkenberg put it last year or the year before. What a drive that was by him at the weekend as well. And speaking of another man who hasn't, like I say, he's not been in the championship for a while, Carl Jansen, and he looks like he's either let through or it did look like he made a slight error, but I think he has just let his teammate through now. So manging up into second place, and They're still bringing the gap down, Adam. It's not by a lot, but 1.2 seconds now, 1.4 seconds now is the gap as Mangan has a pretty poor end to the lap.
Yeah, we've got 3 laps to go, including the one we're on. And
I think this is the key with these guys, though, isn't it? You know, they make a mistake and they lose 2/10. If we make a mistake, it's 2 seconds. I think that's the difference.
I wonder what the magic number is in terms of the gap that Mangan and Jansen need to get it to before they can start to reel in Turnbull at a greater rate with the slipstream, because on a track like this it might just matter quite a bit. I know back when we were racing in the Mazda MX-5s and the rookies, I know they're completely different cars, but the slipstream was so effective in those massive slipstream.
1.7 seconds or something silly, wasn't it, in the Mazda?
Great slipstream, amazing slipstream. The gap's
Done
nearly
more for
under a second.
slipstreams than anybody else. Yeah. Let's see if Mangan or Jansen can trump Turnbull in this one.
It's definitely a race to the checkered flag at the moment. Well, as every race is. Bruce does come turn 3 and turn 4. And the gap is a third of a second between Jansen, Mangan and Turnbull. I don't know why I said that. Over the line. And we're onto the penultimate lap. Lap times 1:25.4 for Turnbull, 1:25.1 for Mangan, and the gap is almost under a second as Newman versus Harrison. And I think that is the Freem UK car trying to keep the HM Engineering car in his rearview mirrors, and he's definitely eager to try and get by here, isn't he?
It's going to be tough. Look at the damage on the front left corner of Harrison's car. He's starting to have a look, though, isn't he? He's starting to get a bit. You can see the body language of the car getting a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more jittery, almost trying to look for any opportunity he can. Takes a bit of a compromise the first corner to get a little bit of a better exit. Oh, he's got a good exit onto the banking, but is it enough to dethrone the multiple-time race winner? Who knows?
And even with that front end damage, it looks like he's still got a fairly decent pace advantage on the banking. But even with that damage, let's see if he can get it to work though into the bus stop chicane. Not close enough here. He's going to get a better run, is he? Oh yeah, he hits the wall. And here comes Jason Cooper just with the Resports car, because that compromised Harrison's exit. Harrison's on the apron. He might be heading to the pits.
And somehow, that might be a black and orange flag for Harrison, but somehow, Adam, it might be that Newman only loses 1 place, but I think he's just been passed by Jake Blackall. He has. And the gap is down to 8/10. We have started the final lap.
1 lap to go then. 3/4 of a second in it for Turnbull and Mangan. Will he be able to hold on to that though? Oh, someone's hit the wall.
It's going to go down to the wire, isn't it? It really is.
Last time around, he was, 1/4 of a second quicker.
Can't underestimate just how much slipstream you can get on that. Well, he's got 2 sections of banking to negotiate. This first one ends with the back straight chicane. And then the second one, and I wonder if Mangan is going to be close enough to have that dive into the final corner, because that is the place for many drivers around this Charlotte Roval.
Yeah, the exit of the bus stop chicane here is going to be key. I think we found out who that car that had a big crash was. It was on the inside there of the back straight. Textbook chicane there by Matt Turnbull.
Foster, maybe? I don't know, but is he got a good exit, did Turnbull. It's going to take quite something now for Mangan. If he's going to get this win, the Irishman, what can he do? Down to 3/10. Oh, 2.5 Yeah, that braking area is not long enough. And Matt Turnbull wins here the first round at the Charlotte Roval. Oh, and there's all sorts going on into the 3 wide. There's an Apex car on the grass. Has he made the move on the grass? He has, George Simmons.
Wow.
Pass on the grass.
Well, Ross Balfour, I don't know what happened to him. He'd already been hit by somebody going into the final chicane previously in the race. But whatever happened there has meant that he dropped a few more places right at the very end. Here is Ben Gregory and Simon Field, and they're fighting over 32nd and 33rd. These guys will be near the front in race 2.
we know Gregory's going to get his elbows out. Oh, he actually doesn't need to. He nails the chicane perfectly, and he keeps 32nd place.
Reverse grid territory is around the 40s, so could be the likes of Baron, Glover, or
40. I did see it earlier on. I did have a little look. It is, I believe, it's 40, and then it's 35 for the feature race.
So 40 would, it looks like, is going to put Lee Berridge on pole. But here's Oscar Mangan then, coming home in second place. He tried everything. Well, he was able to close the gap down anyway, but just wasn't able to strike before the checkered flag came out. And he and Carl Jansen will be happy with that performance. Ross Balfour, though, he was in the lead, did get nerfed out of the way by Matt Turnbull, and with whatever happened in the final few corners on the last lap, means he finishes in P10 in the end. I wonder what happened between he and George Simmons to make that final corner look so crazy when we went to it.
Yeah, I wonder if we could find out. I wonder if we could maybe, if Sam might be able to find a replay for us. George Simmons.
Yeah, Simmons and Balfour. Here's a teammate helping a friend out. This is Adam Hadfield, who was the car that was heavily damaged that we saw in the backstraight, getting a helping hand across the line from Jason Cooper there. Well, here's a replay then.
He's going to need more than a heartburn tablet for that, I think.
Oh, we're on to the next session. We'll never know. Concord, North Carolina. You saw the water tower there. If you're on the same scene at camera as me. And we're getting set for race 2. We're not messing about. We're going straight into it. And it's going to be Lee Berridge. It's a boosted 1-2-3 with Lee Berridge on the pole, Roberts second, and Adam Hedgecock in third. Those are the results from race 1 as well. Matt Turnbull wins, Oscar Mangan second, Jansen third, Cooper fourth, then Blackhall, Newman, Dennis Neidhart, Norbert Leitner, George Simmons, and Ross Balfour completing the top 10 with Fraser Smith, Quentin Guinness, and then Baker, Trendle, Campfield, the highest pro-am, followed by Woodhouse, Rushworth 17th, Williams, Prebenvaler, JB Masida, and the rest of them. Last car in the lead up, Toby Ward in 37th place, Wojciech Savidovic down there in 31st place.
Did he start down there, Adam? I didn't quite see the grid earlier.
He came into the pits at the end of the first lap, so I'm guessing it was might have been a jump start. Yeah.
Ash Sutton and Alex Simpson, though, as you say, 48th and 49th. Simpson won a race last week. Sutton was up there. So, well, 2 weeks ago that was. And look how the mighty have fallen, so to speak. But, 40 reversed. That means that those two guys are going to have to fight their way all the way through from the back, which, I mean, we know that both are capable of getting well and truly into the top 15.
They've got to gain around 15 or so places to make it into the reverse grid window for race 3, so then they could have a chance of going out for the win in race 3. So that's the first target they'll be setting.
The question what I had for you was, did we have a standing start for the first race?
Yes.
So I imagine we did. So what a standing start this is.
Well, yeah, I was saying if this was real life, from the camera we've got here, they'd probably just line up in the tri-oval, wouldn't they, rather than trying to make them all grid up in the chicane.
Yeah, I mean that does, in all seriousness, that does compromise the middle order, doesn't it? Because it goes without saying they've got to negotiate a slow corner about 40 miles an hour, and the guys at the front can just pin the throttle down and do the damage that way. But yeah,
and we know how, and we know how bad it is to get a front-wheel drive car off the line just to go in a straight line. These guys have got to get it off and try and turn left to go onto the front straight. So,
and the guys even who are on the main straight, they've got the banking to contend with.
It's not a lot of banking, but yeah, it will be an issue. There is Lee Berridge. We're looking from the helicopter here. And here come the lights as well. Let's see just how good of a start these guys can get. Will it be a boosted 1-2-3 at the end of the first lap?
Here we go. 5 red lights above the drivers. The lights are off and the race is on. It's a tremendous start from Berridge. Bit of a tardy one from Hedgecock, but he still manages to possibly get ahead of Toby Ward. Might be a boosted 1-2-3. coming through the first sector, but Ward gets slightly ahead of Hedgecock. Can Adam make his way through? Who knows, but through the infield, everybody seems to have got through fairly cleanly at the moment. Off goes Michael Evdoka. He's going to lose a couple of places. A bit of banging and crashing there between Wojciech Savidovic and possibly Damien Harris or Gregory. I couldn't quite see who hit who there, but Savidovic was quite aggressive on the inside.
Yeah, Evdoka doing his best William Byron impression there for the weekend, and Byron was able to survive. Evdoka did there as well. Cold tyres, they just about missed the safer barrier going onto the banking, and now the 2x2 can really begin as it's 2 rows deep here with the Team Chimera car there of Jamie Wilson trying to get by Johnston.
Yeah, we're going to see some big sends, aren't we, in these chicanes as Hedgecock and Ward continue their battle. Might have Kip Stevens through, actually, here, the veteran on the outside. Tell you what, Kip Stevens up to 4th place and looking like attacking Ward here. Wouldn't put it past Kip, the seasoned campaigner that he is, to have a go into this final corner.
Looks like a potential slowdown penalty for Evdoka there. Yeah, he's having a little look into the final corner there, Ross McFarlane. No way through.
Oh no, that's a mess. That was somebody really sending it in there. Oh, it's still going on this. They've managed to avoid a big collision, have they? Have they? Have they? No, not really. I mean,
yeah,
they're still going.
Fraser Smith had tank slapper after tank slapper after. Yeah, he was skating left, skating right, just taking everybody with him. It was like a tornado or something.
There was a white car that absolutely. Oh, that's into the wall.
Oh, is that
and out of the race for Adam Hedgecock, surely.
How on earth did that happen? He was near the front at one point, Hedgecock.
There was a white car that absolutely sent it in right on the white line on the inside, which is always a bit, to be honest, a bit of a stupid place to put the car in such a tight right-hand opening to the chicane. But here come the boosted boys, Berridge and Roberts. They're going to have to work together. Stevens up into 3rd, Adam. It might be a little bit of the bubbly for Mr. Stevens.
Wow, and boosted will be loving that gap as well. What is it? 3.1 seconds.
It's a lot.
2nd and 3rd. Not often we see a gap that big, and they'll be hoping that they can keep extending it. I was able to do that way back in the day in the Kia here, and I was able to win.
But here comes Wojciech Savidovic, though. And he's flying into the chicane with haste. Oh, Ward, he bounces over the curb, and everyone has to scatter to avoid. Oh, big one in the background, that's Butler. And, it's still going on. People can't use the brakes. It's frame car into the wall.
Head on, I don't know what happened there.
Yeah. There must have been. Oh, no! Oh, dear, that's a terrible rejoin. Oh, dear.
Needed the indicators there. God, it's like the crossroads or something.
That was horrendous. I'm not sure how that started, but it certainly ended with Valor in the Valor, and then one of the frame cars also smacking right into it.
Here's what happened first of all to Fraser Smith. This is a replay of from the helicopter. We can just about make him out through the grandstands, I think.
He just got hit and hit some more and hit again, and then he hits Balfour, and then he gets hit again by the HM Engineering. Then he gets smashed by Woodhouse. Oh, and there's more going on in the background. Oh, it's just a mess, isn't it? And if you add up all those contacts, that's still not as many times as I was hit every race of that BSRTC race that we had on Sundays. Now, here's the Berridge. Oh no, there's another crash. What's that?
That's a Marcel Fritsch. That's one of the Swift cars.
Hadfield again. Oh, no look for Hadfield. Hedgecock takes to the top of the course to try and avoid everything. Savidovic sets the fastest lap and takes 1 second out of Lee Berridge's lead, which is now, the lead over Savidovic is 4 seconds. He's coming down rapidly. Harris is chasing the former champion as well.
Yeah, 1.2 as well between Berridge and Roberts, so a bit of breathing space between the two boosted cars. That Frame car that we saw going flying head on into the wall was Pete Newman. He's back in the pits, understandably, after that. You don't often come back from that.
I'm still not used to saying former champion and Wojciech Vidovic in the same sentence, by the way.
I know, yeah. And Damien Harris is giving in some pressure here going onto the back.
Oh, yeah.
Harris is... places.
Yeah, Harris is giving it everything he's got in that fiercely forward car. He's really trying hard here. I love their livery, I really do. And but can he keep the paintwork intact and get a move done on the most successful driver in the history of this championship?
Yeah, it's not often that we see the former champion get one put over on him. And he's starting to pull away a little bit now. The gap is up to half a second. 2.5 to Roberts in second place. And Wojciech put in the fastest lap of anybody on that last lap. Let's see if he can replicate that once again as we go through the final chicane, over the curves, over the line. That's how you do it. Roberts,
that's V8 supercar levels of curb hopping, isn't it?
Gold Coast, yeah. Or Adelaide, the clips, or they hop over the curves.
Oh, yeah. Surfers Paradise, do they still go there? Up the inside for... Is it Breuer? It's Breuer.
Yeah.
And Campfield, that is, isn't it? Sorry, Campfield in the yellow car, and then Breuer behind in the green, white and black .exe car. And it's Philip Johansen, the Swede, for Hell Racers. In the national colours of Sweden, almost. Oh, and you can see, scrabbling around for grip is Carl Jansen. Simon Trendle is the next target, but it's not going to be an easy one. Mind the wall on the inside. I tell you, you don't have that fence anymore, mate, but you've got that bit of wall that juts out, and you know you've got to aim for the wall to get the best line, but you always hope you miss it.
Yeah, if you get it right, sometimes you'll be flinching just to make sure that you don't.
Oh, he's having a look.
Oh, Jansen all set.
Oh, no, contact. Oh, that's got to be a penalty. Oh, dear. And here comes Nathan Davies, by the way, who's not shy either.
Great battle in the midfield. Wojciech Savinovic up into P2. That didn't take that took quicker than I expected.
Lock up your positions and lock up your mothers, apparently. Oh, dear, there goes Johansen. Oh, bang. And that's into Jansen.
Oh, listen, please.
Oh.
Jansen and Johansen.
Yeah. Oh dear.
It's carrying on here, almost bumper to bumper through. Oh, and I think it's carrying on.
I think this is what happens, though, isn't it? Is you get one person slows up, everybody sort of scrabbles around to try and avoid as the HM Engineering car gets into it with the Craig setup shop car there. That's Harrison and Craig Williams himself just ahead. Turnbull, race one winner, trying to go up the inside of Harrison. It's going to be a good battle there. Turnbull really impressive in his rookie season, let's not forget. I mean, winning races in your first season in the championship, something very few drivers have done.
Has Wojciech Savinovic made a mistake on this lap? He was in second briefly. He's now...
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, slow down. Oh, he's down out of the top 5.
Johnston getting by. He's up into P5. He's having a great race. The Hesketh racing car. Wojciech Savinovic, who looked like he could be on for a win at one point, is now down in 6th place. The next challenger to lead Berridge is Damien Harris, who is a couple of seconds away.
Well, Roberts must have made a mistake as well, because Harris caught him, passed him. Now Roberts is already down behind McFarlane as well, so it did not take long at all to get one over on the 2015 AM champion. He's hoping to be a 2-time AM champion by the time the series rolls round, and we end the season in December at Sebring in the United States. Not at Daytona.
Who's
that? Time. Oh, green car on the... Oh dear. Ward. And we're on board with Simon Field, by the way. Former title contender. And he's really been getting back into the groove, Adam. He's been doing a good job this season as he, you know, it's taken a while for him to find his previous form, but I think he's coming, you know, somewhere approaching it at least.
Yeah, he's doing a very good job here in 16th place. He might not be as high as where he started, but still doing a good job. Roberts down to 6th. Not sure what happened to him at the bus stop chicane. because he's lost a couple more places. There's
I'm
Sutton
thinking-
at the bottom of the screen. He's up into
Oh,
the
yeah.
top 20.
I'm thinking for field, it's like 2012 Michael Schumacher. It's somewhere approaching what he can do. Oh, now what's behind? And that is Baker and Sutton. Sutton has made absolutely phenomenal progress. I think he's already up 30 places from where he started, and he might try and make this 31 on Toby Ward. Ash Sutton, who's having a great season in the British Touring Car Championship with Infinity. Oh, careful, Ash. Oh, he came past and he almost collected Ward, just like we saw in first race with the fiercely forward car and that accident that they had into turn 1.
Yeah, that was, he set the move up well there, did Sutton. He was able to do the good switch back through the final chicane, and it's kicking off in the background, isn't it? I think that was Davis, wasn't it, in the Hesketh racing car. The gap's 1/10 of a second for the lead, by the way.
The absurdity of this track, by the way, is that they were all running outside that blue line, which actually denotes the racing surface. And all 4 wheels outside it. As round the outside for the lead comes Damien Harris. Berridge is trying to fight back. He's got a decent run out of the chicane. Very, very good run indeed. He's going to tuck right in. Surely, and I would definitely try, he's got to get this back straight away as Lee Berridge. And he has to do it into the chicane. Oh, but maybe he can't because McFarlane's coming in. They might all converge here. Oh, good defence by Berridge to stay ahead of McFarlane, but Harris absolutely flung the car in there. I swear, Adam, they're going quicker through that chicane when they have to defend or attack.
Yeah, and McFarlane was flashing. Oh, door handle there, more of a lightener, and that's Toby Ward. Ward has to cut the chicane. That will almost certainly be a slowdown penalty as a result. It's difficult, really, because it's the lesser of two evils. It's either that or you clobber the turtles. Yeah,
and the first time of the night that I've seen Jack Sedgwick, and he's in the back of the shot. You see him in the matte black Inex Racing colours. That was close, wasn't it? Trendell and Ward very, very close together indeed. Adam Hadfield is on the back of this group too, so he looks to make inroads from 34th position.
Credit to Ross McFarlane in that whole battle for the lead, because off. That's one of the top 60 cars.
Brilliant.
Reversing it into the wall for good measure, and
he's down to 33rd is Breuer.
And that is that just outside the reverse grid? He's just inside it. So
is he 34?
Yeah, it's 34.
Which is currently held by the man behind him. That's Hedgecock.
I lie. It's 35.
Well, here you go. It's getting better all the time for these guys.
Here is Johnston. He's got Wojciech Sabinovic for company. And as you can see, McFarlane has got into second and has now got 5 laps, including the one we're on, to see if he can get by Damien Harris. But Harris has just responded with a new personal best, 125.9, so he's trying to make sure the gap doesn't come down anymore. It's currently 7/10 of a second.
Yeah, I mean, Harris is very, very good indeed, so it certainly wouldn't surprise me if he is able to hang on here or extend the lead. Wojciech on the infield section, that right-hander is still as troublesome as ever, even on the new layout. Yeah, it's slightly, it's sort of the same but different, isn't it? As you said in your sort of piece at the start of the show. Sutton up to 13th place now. Where's Alex Simpson? Have we seen him?
He's at the back. I don't even know if he started or not.
Oh. Well, either out before the start or didn't take it, one or the other, but now,
oh my word,
there's all sorts that could go on here.
Now this is over a spot in the top 20. Looking here at Kieran Harrison, who is someone arriving on the scene there. That was Simon Field entering stage left. Yeah,
he must have cut the course, Field. Oh, where's he going?
I think he might have a penalty for maybe too many incident points. I'm not sure.
We're going into the pit lane then. Davies thinks about a move on. That's Morgan Butler actually in 17th. First time we've mentioned him, I think, in this race. Davies up to 18th. Well, down to 18th actually from where he started. 13th did the Welshman. It's been a bit of a barnstorm in this one, I tell you.
Yeah, there's been always something going on. Our drivers trying to make moves done, or a bit of slipstreaming going on the banking of the circuit. There's 2 HM engineering cars. I hear a smash somewhere.
I will say, sorry, I will say one of the best things about this circuit, especially this new configuration, is overtaking moves are not easy to come by. They have to be pretty well earned. And we might see some good earning here. As Williams, just a little tag with Butler. Butler has to ride the inside curb, although that is Harrison going wide. He's going to lose out to Butler and possibly to his teammate Leitner as well. In fact, no, he's going to avoid losing that place. Really not a fast line on the outside, is it?
No, and Simmons has just come into the pits.
It's not like Daytona. Sorry, it's not like Daytona where you can use that outside line to your advantage coming onto the tri-oval.
No, and imagine if we were running the Daytona road course now, because they've got that bus stop chicane as well just before the very end of the lap on the exit of turn 4. Change for the lead, by the way. Ross McFarlane leads. Damien Harris has now been demoted down to 2nd place. So the Pure Sims Esports car now hits the front. Now he's got to do some defending, because Harris will now be the one with the slipstream.
Yeah, and the tables have now turned. So it'll be interesting to see exactly what Damien Harris can do with this slipstream now he has it.
Oh, had somebody crashing into the wall. Wilson getting by Gregory. So that is the Team Chimera car now into 6th, which is up again at 6 places. Ash Sutton is on the verge of the top 10. He's up 36 places. And it could get more. It could be 37. No. He's trying to get by Carl Jansen. These two know each other from the World GT days. 3 wide. Are we going to go 3 wide?
Oh, what's happened there? Something's gone off at the chicane as well. Well, there's all sorts going on. Oh, yeah. Jansen's in the pits, so must be a penalty of some description for Jansen. Oh, my word, look at this.
Well, what a move by the Team Chimera car there. Simon Trendle, 2 in 1 corner.
Outstanding by Trendle. He really committed to that one.
And is that Doku he's just got by? It looks like he might be a lap down or whatever. He's in there. Oh, there's Jansen. Oh, rejoining the circuit after his drive-through and very nearly arriving into the path of someone.
Yeah, interesting for Jansen. Don't know why he's accrued that drive-through penalty, but
incident points there. I'm guessing anyway. I guess with it all being a tarmac circuit, it'd be very difficult to amass them. So I wonder what that was for.
Who knows? Black and orange, maybe? I don't know. Did he get hit in that nonsense earlier on? He might have done actually, because he started in 38th. So yeah, he might have received some damage. But I mean, surely he would have had to serve that by now. But anyway, oh man, on board with Neidhart.
So, Apex car. Oh, Simmons and the Doka.
Oh, they're very slow in the middle of the corner. They're very slow. You can. Oh, I'll tell you what, you can't overtake below that blue line around here. Somebody's trying the very top line. That's
someone else.
That's Neidhart.
Yeah. That was a Doka coming in the pits as well. Final lap of the race.
Didn't work well for Neidhart, did it? That ended up losing quite a few places. Russwood's off as well, apparently. But here we go, final lap for Ross McFarlane and for Damien Harris. And well, the Scotsman's fought his way up well, but Harris has still got an opportunity. In fact, he's still got 2 opportunities, Adam. Is he going to try and take one in the back straight? He's late on the brakes, not late enough. McFarlane goes a bit deep to give him a bit of room, but there's going to be 1 chance left.
Yeah, he got a great exit out of that chicane as well. It's all going to be about who's latest on the brakes. And he's got a very decent run. He's going to try and get the best possible exit because he's going to swing to the high line and then cut straight to the bottom. It's all going to be about the final corner. Up the inside, is he going to go for it? He is. Oh, he is. He's going to do it.
Oh!
Has he done?
Oh, no, there against the wall. Oh, and it's Savinovic. Oh, Wojciech Savinovic has done it.
Wow.
Oh, where did he even come from? But he
Wasn't even
takes
in
the
the
win
shot.
in. That's monumental.
It's like the finish to Red Bull Ring in the MotoGP when when the KTM bike came out of nowhere. Wow, Savinovic, well, what of an achievement. We thought he was out of it when he picked up that slowdown penalty midway through the race. And up he pops out of nowhere as champions usually do. And he's able to take the win by a tenth of a second in the end. That's probably a healthy margin.
Those two sandwiched each other against the wall, didn't they? And that was the issue. Slowed them down sufficiently. And Savinovic, well, Merry Christmas to him. He enjoyed that one. Let's see. On board, yes, this is what we want to see. Oh, he nails the line, Adam. Absolutely nailed it. Oh, and he still made contact, I think. Oh, absolutely. And what a beautiful sight for Wojciech Savinovic that was.
Tell you what, he's won a lot of races in the ARLTC. I think this one might be up there with one of the most enjoyable. And that is the end of it. We've got to advance. We're off to a warm-up session as we get ready for the third and final race of the day. But before we do, let's just reflect on what a crazy finish that was. Wojciech Savinovic wins. I'd love to know what the gap was at the start of the final lap. But he was able to do it nonetheless. He wins by a tenth of a second, and it's all that matters who leads at the checkered flag. Damien Harris in second, third for Ross McFarlane in the end. He was leading at the start of the last lap. Mark Johnston finishes in fourth, then Jamie Wilson, Ben Gregory, John Roberts. Adrian Campfield finishes in eighth, ninth for Ash Sutton. I can't tell you how many places he gained. I think it was in the region of 40. Ross Balfour in 10th, 11th for Dave Baker, 12th for Kip Stevens, one of the highest Pro-Am finishes there, and one of his best results of the season so far, I'd say there. Craig Williams in 13th, then Matt Turnbull, Oscar Mangan in 15th place. There's Nathan Davis, the Welshman, in 16th. 17th for Jason Cooper, Simon Trendell, then George Simmons, Carl Jansen in 20th place despite coming through the pit lane for a drive-through. Jack Sedgwick 21st, then Rickard Carlson, Dennis Neidhart in 23rd. It wasn't a good race if your name was Neidhart. I think he was the one that we saw backed into the wall on the infield. Adam Hadfield 24th, then Morgan Butler, Toby Ward, Adam Hedgecock, then Darius Neidhart in 28th place. 29th in the end for oh goodness me, who was in 29th place? That was Marius Breuer. Then Kieran Harrison in 30th for HM Engineering, then JB Masida, Jamie Rushworth, Marcel Fritsch for WS Racing Esports. Then it's Michael Evdoka, who also had to come in for a drive-through penalty late on. Mark Woodhouse, Baron Glover, Lee Berridge, who was the pole sitter for race 2. Sean Gardner, Norbert Leitner, the last car on the lead lap. Simon Field, 4 laps down in the end. We saw him coasting in. Corentin Gunnez in 41st place, 6 laps down. Fraser Smith, Philip Johansen. We saw him in picking up a lot of damage earlier on after a bit of contact with Jansen. Jake Blackhall, after a strong finish in race 1, he was down the order in 44th. Then Austin Foster, Pete Newman going head on into the wall very early on in the tri-oval, out. Alex Nella, 47th. Previn Valor also out. We saw the strife he was in early on. And Alex Simpson not taking the start. So 2 consecutive races, 49th in both of them for the former iRacing World Championship Grand Prix Series stripe.
Yeah, and bring back that series while you're at it as well, iRacing. But yeah, Alex at the back, so we'll see if he does take the start for the third race and see what he can do in that one. But yeah, what a win for Wojciech Savinovic. We're just going to take a few minutes out here to go to some adverts and to catch our breath, and we'll be back here on the iRacing Esports Network in around 5 or 6 minutes time. Welcome back to the iRacing Esports Network for the final round of the evening here in the Apex Racing League Touring Car Championship. We're here at the Charlotte Roval for those who've just joined us, and well, for those who haven't, Andrew Woodhouse, Adam Bath, Sam Kumo, and Adam, well, two great races, and the fans that were watching this meeting so far have been in for a treat, really, haven't they?
We've loved the two races here. I think it was as good, if not better, than what we were expecting when we were building it up a couple of weeks ago. It was definitely worth the gap week in terms of waiting. And now we've got one more race to go, and we've got a Woodhouse on pole.
Excellent.
He's on the pole then, Mark Woodhouse. Michael Evdoka in second. Third is Marcel Fritsch. Then it's Jamie Rushworth, Masida. Harrison in sixth. Then the two Germans, Breuer and Neidhart.
That's Darius Neidhart this time, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Darius in eighth. Ninth, Adam Hedgecock. And 10th, Toby Ward. 11th, Morgan Butler. Adam Hadfield in 12th. Then it's Dennis Neidhart, Rickard Carlson, and Jack Sedgwick completing the top 15 as here come the lights for the final time.
Here we go then. Woodhouse on pole. Let's see if he can keep it. Lights are off. The race is on. It's a good start by the front row. In fact, all the drivers got a pretty even spread as people are already rubbing door handles through the chicane as they try and negotiate at the back. But Mike Woodhouse into the lead then. Evdoka in second. It's side by side between Rushworth and Fritsch for third, but Rushworth gets out in front, and Harrison getting up into fourth place. Fritsch going backwards actually, as Masida is past him as well. A few drivers floating with the grass down the back straight, but too bad. As that is Hadfield, I think, round the outside of Neidhart, and that Carl Jansen, we're looking at him in the core sim racing car, the white and orange car, will be inside of Dennis Neidhart this time. And there, just behind Hedgecock now, is George Simmons, who made that great move in the final corner of the first race. Woodhouse leads by 0.3 of a second, Adam, and everybody else seems to have got through reasonably well, I think.
For the most part, yeah, and I don't think we've seen too many in the way of slowdowns. There was one HM engineering car just cutting the chicane in the background. But for the most part, yeah, it's been
Smith, I think.
Yeah, it was Fraser. Yeah, Fraser Smith that just missed it. Here's Morgan Butler though. Oh, I don't know what issues he's got. He's going through the tri-oval at the end of the lap. I think he might have given up. I don't know.
Maybe a hardware failure or something. Maybe a black screen or something like that. Somebody else has cut the course in the background. Might have been Smith again, actually. I'm not sure. But the HM engineering car having a few issues. Almost a street circuit going past the Heartburn turn and through turn 2. With the walls very, very close. When we have seen incidents there, Adam, it can be quite biblical. As there might be 3 wides soon if somebody's... Oh, that was poor from Neidhart. He drove it in too hard. And he smashes Hedgecock there. He was in the middle, Adam, and it was always going to be optimistic, wasn't it, I think?
Yeah, it was 4-1, and on that occasion definitely didn't go. And meanwhile, the fight for the lead is on. Michael Evdoka still hasn't been able to get by Mark Woodhouse. This is a very good job in the early stages by the Team Mad car. These days, he's not often got too many teammates, Mark Woodhouse. Once was part of a really strong Team Mad team. I think he's just the Lone Ranger left and off.
Oh,
was that one of them was Davis? That's Rickard Carlson.
And that was with one of the Hesketh racing cars, wasn't it? It looks like it's going to be Davies. See then, Carlson turns in. Oh, he just spins. And Davies was the unfortunate... Oh dear. And Davies then gets a core car in his face for his troubles. And this is for the lead then, Evdoka. Oh, lovely.
Oh, it's not over. Runs out wide and is in the grass. But he's able to hold on to the lead. I think he is clear. Yes, indeed he is. And Woodhouse is going to go down to third and might even be fourth if the Freem UK car of Rushworth can try and get by on the outside.
It's crazy how he was leading comfortably and then just goes offline in the one corner. And he might lose third. He might lose, well, he might lose second, he might lose third as well. Maybe even fourth, as Masida, the very rapid Frenchman, is on the case as well. JB Masida, first meeting in the championship for him, his debut. Neidhart and Neidhart now together on the track as well. Oh, the spin.
Oh, it's Woodhouse. And he was leading as well, as you can see by the one on the window. He just lost the lead. And now he's having to do a 3-point turn. There's fans looking the wrong way. They obviously don't see there's an Audi behind them. And Woodhouse has got going now in 31st place.
It's such a shame for Mark. The 1 turns into 31 in about that number of seconds. Oh, this is a big dive by Sutton. Oh, bang. It's a contact. As he drove it in hard. There's a car next to us. It's Manga. Well, that was the dive of all dives, wasn't it, from Sutton? Big set.
He's already gained 11 places. I think if he can keep it going, he's probably going to be close to gaining 60 places across the whole evening. That's how much he's going through the field, and if you gain that many places, you deserve to win one of these races. But that's just not the way it is in the ARLTC, and Sutton is having to once again come back through the field after a storming drive in race 2.
No Alex Simpson, unfortunately. Again, and it looks like we've lost Newman, Butler, Blackhall, Gardner, Foster and Glover. So not a good race if your name ends in
Into the chicane, and here's the fight for 18th place. This is Hedgecock, Ward and Williams. He's going to respond to top 1.5 dozen, just kissing the wall there. And look at this. This is Evdoka versus Harrison. HM Engineering car looking at the inside into the final corner. Oh, across the sausage curbs, and it's almost a repeat of the finish of race 2 as Rushworth is up the inside.
Masida was off as well on the grass on the inside. Lost all his momentum. He might be down to 8th. Masida, he's in 4th place. Sedgwick sets the fastest lap of the race, and he's in this gaggle, and that's close between Neidhart and Breuer and Evdoka. Sorry. Breuer showed a couple of weeks ago he can mix it with this lot in the ARLTCR. Look at this, Simmons trying to squeeze through the gap created next to Hadfield, not quite. But here's Sedgwick. Oh, he's now at the head of the train, Adam, which might not make it super easy for him, as Carl Jansen having a go here. And he's got the momentum.
Get it done into the final corner. There was all sorts of action at the front of the field in the previous lap, going into the final chicane. Now it's in the fight for the final spot on the podium.
100% having a go. No, he's not. Wow.
Oh, someone's off!
Oh, big one!
And he takes him with him. That was Evdoka. Once again, he's in strife at the final corner. Breuer was backwards going into the corner, and poor Evdoka would not have known he was even there.
Yeah, he got a big hit, didn't he? Breuer out of control. Wonder whether that was by his own making or some assistance. You would imagine assistance. Hopefully we can get the replay up sooner rather than later, but a battle on our hands now. Hadfield, Simmons and Masida. Masida was having a look at the inside, but no such luck this time. Simmons trying to go around the outside of Hadfield, Adam, and he's had to go very high up on the banking. It would give him decent momentum, just with the force of gravity bringing him down, but trying to get a side draft, but the other two have gone right on the white line on the inside, turning into the chicane. He goes around the outside, he goes all the way around as Simmons has contact. They're both around Hadfield and Simmons. Their races are ruined.
Synchronised spinning there, the Swift Cooper and the Apex car. And Hadfield, oh, he's going to have to wait for everybody to get by. He's doing what Woodhouse had to do. And here comes Jason Cooper.
Oh man, this is
Chimera.
has even got the overlap there. It's very, very close indeed. That's Sutton. Fastest lap again for Sedgwick. Very good indeed. Oh, Adam Hedgecock's in the wall, and that's David Baker as well off.
Oh, they're going to have to call this pure Sims turn. That's the second time in a lap that they've had cars off. That was Avdoka in the previous lap, and now Dave Baker here.
Oh, Hedgecock's engine's blown. It's going to need more than a heartburn tablet to fix that, I think.
Oh, you might need the
now,
defibrillator.
I can stride on the inside of Simon Turnbull then. Mangan trying to bring his race to life as Hedgecock, you see the smoking car going down the other part of the circuit. Battle ahead of them actually between Turnbull, Sutton and Darius Neidhart. Sutton coming out on top this time. I think there's a lock-up by Dennis Neidhart into the chicane as well, and he's lost a bit of time.
The way Sutton attacks that curve, it's astonishing. Last time around, Sutton did a 1:26.8. His best lap of the race, a 25.3. It's quicker than our race leader, Kieran Harrison. He's gained 18 places since the start. Through the final chicane, he's got so much time there. And up the inside goes Neidhart. He's going to try and get by Marcel Fritsch into the first corner. It's Germany v Austria. And it is... Oh, and it's a pass for Sutton as well. So 2 places lost for Marcel Fritsch. He's down to 9th place. Dennis Neidhart's up into 8th, but the question is for how much longer?
Yeah, Fritsch still ahead in the Diach battle though. And yeah, he stays just ahead. Interestingly, on excuse me, Harrison, his last lap was 0.8 quicker than Rushworth, so out to 2.2 now. Oh, that's Avdoka and Craig Williams.
Oh,
I think the Charlotte groundsman isn't going to be very happy with him there as he's mowing the lawn. Kept out of the shrubbery though, which is good for him.
The flower bed is kept neat and tidy there. Meanwhile, Sutton on the inside of Neidhart, flipping the curves as he has been throughout the race, and he's up into P7. Where's the next target for him? It's JB Masida, who's 2.2 seconds up the road. It's very close in the fight for second between Rushworth and Sedgwick. And
oh, that was very, very close.
And that's Jansen through into second. Tell you what, it looks seemingly impossible to get 2 cars through that final chicane, either without losing a ton of time or going into the wall.
Yeah, they'll be glad that they don't have the new damage model on, otherwise might be tyres bouncing all over the place. It's Harrison anyway, leading 3.5 now after that interesting confrontation that just happened. Rushworth and Sedgwick, 2 very experienced drivers. Rushworth, a former champion, Sedgwick, a former runner-up.
Here is
Jason Cooper having a look, sorry mate.
No worries. Team Chimera car there of Turnbull, as we were saying. Looked pretty good in practice and qualifying. The top 10 could be up for grabs as they get very close to the safer barrier there on the exit. And here comes Oscar Mangan then, trying to get by Darius Neidhart. This is a fight to get in the top 10. We've got one of the best seats in the house for it as we look from the cockpit of Simon Turnbull's car through the first part of the chicane, taking a lot of inside curb there was Mangan, and he's got a great run, but he just can't go anywhere to use it, and it's going to allow Simon Turnbull to arrive on the scene.
Yeah, and arrive he has. What's he going to do with it? Into the final chicane, no moves here. Interesting how drivers take different lines as well. Some prefer to avoid the majority of the curb. Some don't seem to care. The thing you do have to do is avoid that wall on the right hand side coming out of the heartburn turn. Showing the nose on the inside is Turnbull.
great exit from Turnbull as well, even though he's going to be boxed in here. Banging up the inside.
And that's not actually cheating going out there, because absolutely everybody's doing it on that left-hand side. So Turnbull just using what he's given by the sim.
Yeah, there was a bit of controversy.
It's a good run to the straight.
Oh yeah, straight up the inside. And oh no, he's going to be hung out to dry here, I think, Darius Neidhart, because here comes Jason Cooper as well. He's going to lose 3 places here, and also arriving on the scene is Ross McFarlane, the reigning champion.
There we go then, 5 of them going into the chicane. Do 5 of them emerge? This time they do.
Smoke, they had to go through there. There was a bit of controversy at Talladega at the weekend about the yellow line rule. I wasn't too sure what the issue was. There's a Hedgecock with a very smoky boosted car comes into the pit lane.
Yeah, he did as many laps as he possibly could before having to serve his black and orange flag. Unfortunately, one cannot stave off the meatball for that long. Savinovic then, race 2 winner, 22nd position, little bang on the wall, not anything that's going to do him any real damages. A big move by Harris, and he's trying to follow Wojciech Savinovic, and he sends it in on Kip Stevens, and the 2-time champion moves out of the way. And yeah, Harris with a lovely move in turn 1 and makes it through.
There was just enough space for that move to be done there, and a good job between the 2 of them, because it could have ended up one of them getting speared into the wall. There's Philip Johansen at 14 places and is in 29th place. And there's Nathan Davis, who's just in front of him. Very close fight here. Going back onto the banking. A couple of laps to go as well, so time's running out for them to get some extra points.
Yeah, I mean, every point counts, of course, in this format, with no showdown. Side by side, Ward and Johnston. Ward gets a better exit, but oh my word. As Adam said earlier on, not really anywhere that he can go in order to use it. Now we might be able to get a bit of momentum with the slipstream. It's like actually Johnston might be pulling away here. To the final corner, Ward has a think. Probably had more than a think there, but all it's done is it's put him off line for the exit. And his mirror is now full of stripy Simon Field.
God, looking at the track map there, you can see there's a very concentrated section of cars through the infield. From the camera angle we had at turn 1, you could see cars leaving the infield at the same time as cars were entering it. One of the Neidharts, it was Breuer that was getting out of the way there, allowing Corentin Guinness through.
Yeah, I was expecting a little bit of a better showing from Guinness, as off the wall goes Alex Nella. I was looking at the practice times. I was looking at the practice times, Adam. I thought the Frenchman might be able to be a little bit higher up than that, but such is life, I suppose.
Yeah, with Sim Privateers win on their one and only race meeting in the ARLTC, well, former BSRTC before, Stefano Giriali has Road America back in season 6. Whatever happened to him? You as well, Mark? Yeah, both winning race 3, Stefano Giriali.
I only coughed because I was a privateer, and a lot of people think I was driving for a team, but I was not.
There you go. I won once, and it was at this track, but it wasn't in series.
It wasn't this particular one, no. But
it was the old road.
Yeah, I remember you. I could see. I was on the infield. I could see you flying off into the distance. Nothing I could do about that one. As I think I was in the lead of one of the races. Oh, Savinovic! Well, contact with Woodhouse, I think. Hedgecock's come back out then. Still on fire, I think, is that boosted car. Ignited. Exhausted. And Savinovic might be discombobulated after the contact.
final lap of the race then. The gap is a healthy 3.4 seconds for Kieran Harrison, who has just started the last lap on the inside.
Oh,
Harris versus Woodhouse.
It's very close.
And Wojciech Savidovic arriving onto the scene as well. This could be pretty interesting going into the final corner. And
well, we
Jansen,
saw what he did in the last race, didn't we?
Oh yeah, well, he was able to win it. And he stays clear because Johnston is potentially arriving onto the scene with quite a lot of power. They're very clean through there. It'll be the same in 2.5 miles time.
Good move there by Johnston. I think we should look at Harrison because I think we've not given him any airtime at all because he's absolutely flown away at the front and has not really been on the radar for most of this one, but he's just got 2 chicanes to go. Very sensibly avoids those big curves.
He was fastest in practice. It showed that he had good pace around here, and once he got into the front here in the 3rd race, no one could really catch him at all. And here he is, HM Engineering, great job by the team as well, and the checkered flag is awaiting him.
It is indeed, so into the final corner he comes. And Kieran Harrison is going to win here in the final round of the day for HM Engineering at Charlotte Road. Really good performance by him. Jansen in 2nd, Sedgwick 3rd. 4th goes to Rushworth just ahead of Turnbull. So 2 top 5 finishes for Turnbull. Masida ahead of Sutton, Neidhart, Mangan and Trendell. And there's someone around Bridge. I think that's as he crossed the line. No, it's before the line. And does he lose out? Oh, it's Neidhart, sorry, Darius Neidhart, sorry, not Bridge. And he lost out to Evdoka there. Oh, it's Vala. Oh, Vala diving for the line ahead against Davies, but not managing it. Hadfield sideways across the line. That was a fun race, Adam, once again, I think.
What a great meeting that's been, and it truly delivered as we look from the helicopter of some handbrake turns / sideways moments, power slides there by Carl Jansen.
Pretty cool way to celebrate as long as you don't smash into the fence.
I think we can clearly gather as well from up here in the helicopter. Oh my word!
Oh!
180-degree flip. Scraping along the floor. Can someone help him back over? Oh yes, someone's going to try and...
Go on.
Oh well. That's kind of the scoop. McFarlane, he's trying.
Go on, another one.
Oh,
Simmons.
Oh, they're going to do it!
Oh!
He's nearly there. Maybe someone just needs to get underneath
There's a
him.
gear in there somewhere.
Oh, there we go. He's going to use the wall. There he is!
Hey. I'll give that a solid 7.5 from the German judge for that one.
And it's for a bit of compensation for making him do that. Oh!
Oh!
Well, the Red Bull Air Race, I don't know if they come here, but
So he's won the Red Bull Air Race. He's won the high jump, the long jump, and the triple jump in one go, I think. With that one. Oh no, again!
I think in that case we've covered what? Different disciplines of the Olympics. We've done the
rear wing,
field, and we've
the
done
rear wing's gone. The bonnet's gone. They're still going. They're still hitting him. Oh, he's put himself out of his misery. In the end, hey, the Red Bull Air Race around here. Well, that would be pretty interesting,
Texas, isn't it? Yeah.
They did that at a race course, didn't they? So it has been done in big sort of speedway type venues. They did it at like, I want to say Ascot or Aintree or something like that in England.
Here's a finishing order then from a great 3 races, and it is race victory for Kieran Harrison, 2nd for Kieran Harrison and Carl Jansen in 2nd, 3rd Jack Sedgwick, then Jamie Rushworth, Matt Turnbull, JV Macedo, top 10 finish for him, then Ash Sutton, Dennis Neidhart, Oscar Mangan and Simon Trendall completing the top 10. 11th for Simon Trendell, then Jason Cooper, Ross McFarlane, the reigning champion, George Simmons there in 13th, Marcel Fritsch, the highest AM driver, P14, 15th for Craig Williams, Michael Avdoka in P16, and Darius Neidhart, Fraser Smith, Ben Gregory, and Alex Neller completing the top 20. 21st for Damian Harris, then it's Mark Woodhouse, Mark Johnston, Wojciech Savidovic, the former champion, I should say, in 24th. Kip Stevens, Toby Ward, Philip Johansen in 27th, Jamie Wilson for Team Chimera in 28th place. 29th for Norbert Leitner, the HM Engineering car. Nathan Davis in 30th. 31st place for Preben Valler. 32nd, Dave Baker. We saw him around in the final corner earlier on. Adam Hadfield there in 33rd. Lee Berridge in 34th. His boosted colleague, Simon Field, in 35th place. Not too sure what happened to him because he was running well. That might have been race 2, though, when we were talking about him there. Corentin Guinness in 36th. Rickard Carlson, the Swede, in 37th. John Roberts in 38th. Ross Balfour, the last car on the lead lap, in 39th place. 40th for Marius Breuer. Then Adam Hedgecock with the Smoky boosted car. Baron Glover, 42nd. Sean Gardner in 43rd. Then Adrian Campfield, Austin Foster, Jake Blackhall down there in 46th place again. Race 1 was so good. Race 2 and 3, nightmare. Morgan Butler, 47th. And Pete Newman in 48th place in the end.
Yeah, and there was some decent attrition in that race. We saw quite a few drivers coming to grief. But yeah, this championship format is really delivering. Certainly is. It doesn't look like we've got anybody coming to talk to us, which I'm a little surprised about. But there you go. But let's have a little look forward to see what's happening, what's coming up in the next few weeks then for the ARLTC. And
next we are back. We're heading next week to Far West. We're off to Laguna Seca.
Wow.
It's on my birthday as well. I've just remembered that's next week. 22nd of October. Round 8. And then round 9 at Barcelona. Motegi, round 10. And then the season ends at Monza, with Monza, Donington, and then Sebring right at the very end.
Yeah. Classic tracks. And that will be a tremendous end to the 2020 season indeed. But I think we'll have to end tonight's broadcast. But yeah, it's been a tremendous 3 races here at Charlotte, and it remains to be seen who's going to be the champion, of course, heading into December. But from all of us here at Apex Racing TV, this has been the iRacing Esports Network. Andrew Woodhouse, Adam Bath, and Sam Kumo have brought you all the action here tonight. And from all of us here, we'll see you guys next week. Good night.